Good morning, friends. My name is Stephen from Waarheid Truth, and we talk truth into this world. Please have a look at my previous video on my channel. This is the second part of it where we are discussing you were born with a purpose. And do you know what your purpose is on earth? Are you happy in your work, your life? Are you at the place where you are reaching your full potential? And today we're discussing and doing a workshop where we really hope that we can assist you to get some more clarity of who and what you are and for what you were made. Yeah, so I've got this slogan, get alive. Right, let's have a look at it. So who am I? As discussed last time in the other video, I am a spirit. I'm born into a body. I live in this body, and this physical body will die, but my spirit lives on. And my soul, the third part of me, is my intellect, my thoughts, my emotions. So in other words, my personality, my belief system evolves and develops, my mindsets, my talents, and my attributes. So this Trinity is the complete me. We were made in the image of the Lord God Trinity. So what is your purpose? Is God's specific purpose for your life because He called you personally? That's why He made you unique and in a specific way. We need to know that there's nobody like us. There has never been. There's not now with 8 billion people on earth, and neither will there ever be another you. So to be saved into His kingdom because He loves us so immeasurable. To look, think, and live like Jesus Christ. To have His character, to become like Him. To evangelize the world and make disciples of all. Through our life, our career, our workplace, our existence on earth. So it's more important for the Lord how we become than what we do. Because then He can work through us. We do not have to live in and be dependent on our own power and abilities. Great words from Apostle Henny Meyers. So what is the process? What are we going to discuss today? So we're going to work through a process where we start with wider questions, and then we should end up that you have more clarity in terms of who you are and my purpose on this earth and why I am here. So let me help you with the questions. The questions is to jog your mind, to get a feeling, just to go and really work in yourself again, delve deep, despite your circumstances, about who you are and what you would like to do and be. So who am I? So I would really suggest that you write down, make some notes, stop the video, and have a look and think over a cup of tea or coffee. What are my dreams? What do I want to achieve? What do I like? What are my interests? What am I passionate about? So you really need to go and delve deep into your own spirit, into your own heart, into your own mind about, never mind my circumstances, what would I like and what do I like? Then, never mind who I am. Then the next step is, what am I? What am I good with? What am I comfortable with? What interests me? In what environment do I excel? Then we should get to a stage where you said, all right, so what will be my perfect career? My job, my position or post, my space on earth. And then what would I love to do? Where does God want me? Because as discussed in the last video, He made us. And what we are is that we may enjoy life and what we do. Okay. So what's the method today? Approach this worksheet with absence of boundaries and circumstances. Don't think of your finances, current conditions, current employment, even your current location. Make time for yourself. Make a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you enjoy to drink, chill and dream about the questions. Some of the contra or negative questions is to jog your mind to confirm what you do not want for your life and what you are definitely not interested in. That's just as important than the positive stuff of what you would like and what you like. Think of it this way. You walk in a bookshop past the magazine section. What topics or subjects do you immediately turn to? And at what subjects do you not even glance? That will already give you an idea of what do you like in yourself. What is your interest? Think holistic, all aspects of your life. The career, hobbies, interest, your sport, relationships. Do not exclude any discipline or field of life. Try and use 1 to 4 words to explain your answers. You will return to expand on your thoughts. Just jot down first. You can always revisit and build on the picture that you are building. Give short answers and complete section. See what concepts stand out strong and you feel excited and good about. Formulate that in a sentence and write it down. That is the dominating theme that describes you. Do not answer all the individual questions, only examples to jog your mind into processing and action of thought. So for instance, I grew up messing around with physical things like engines or building electronic gimmicks and always worked technical type of jobs. Is it real me or was it just influence from my family or my circumstances or my financial position that pushed me that way? I have stable hands, are patient, and enjoying technical things. I can do it for hours. Or I find it actually irritates me and leaves me unfulfilled, empty, even listless. Right, so let's have a look at the questions. What are your dreams? What would you like to do? Work-wise, career, never mind where you are now. Dear friends, now you really need to get quiet and never mind your circumstances, your external situation, nothing. What if you can now go back and think of when you were young, if you are not that young anymore, is what would you like to do? What would you like to be in your career or work-wise? What do you still want to achieve? Where would you like to live? What hobbies would you like to pursue? What sport would you like to enjoy? So there are the questions. Have a look at, let it jog your mind and think really hard. Just what comes up, write it down in your mind. Don't evaluate at this stage. Just articulate and write down the first thoughts that comes up out of your spirit. And then on the other hand also, the things you do not like, the things you dislike, the things you despise, the no thank you, I call it. What would you not like to do? What do you really do not care about? Where would you definitely not settle and live? So can you see it's the opposite pole of the questions we ask here, the same there. So have a look at that and define it, articulate it explicitly, because it will help you to get it on a scale. My gosh, I never thought I would like this or I wouldn't like that. Right, the next aspect is what is your innate talents, your strengths and your abilities. You are discovering your built-in strengths and abilities. Now, this is not necessarily the skill or qualification you attained. It could be that you knew all the time, or it's not. Unless you completed the qualification based on said strength, yes, and abilities, because that you knew from when you were young, this is what I want to do, and you are very happy in it. So what are you naturally good at? What do you enjoy to do? What would you spend hours on? What's your natural strengths, your natural abilities? Do you like to invent and create concepts, things, models? Are you lateral thinking? Or do you prefer stereotype, repetitive, work or activities. I learn the best by sight, to feel or to hear, of self-experience, practical examples. I'm good with figures or numbers or formulas. Maths, I'm good with science. I'm good with history. I'm artistic. Or on the other hand, I hate it. I hate science or maths or whatever it could be. I have absolutely no artistic talent. I cannot draw or paint or sculpture anything. So look, what is the pros, what's the cons, what's the contra of what you do like, the positive. Also, again, explicitly define what you do not like, what you are not. Your weaknesses. Yeah, absolutely. What doesn't interest you at all? What would you really not like to spend time with? Or who, or what, or the place, or the circumstances? What's your interest in life? What interests you? What would you like to research about? Where do you feel neat and safe? In what type of environment? Or do you love chaos? Are you an adrenaline junkie? Do you love challenges? Or do you easily get bored? And again, on the other side, what's your hates and dislikes? You already articulated, hopefully, some of it. But here's very specifically asked again that you just visited and articulated more. Could also be on a scale that maybe you're neutral about it. You would not like something or a situation or an environment, but it's okay. You can live in it. So preferences to rejuvenate when you are tired. Now that's critical. What recharges your battery? What helps you? Do you like to be with friends when you rest? Does a party and sitting talking with people, does that revitalize you? Do you like to attend parties? Go out with friends? Or on the other hand, are you regenerated by keeping alone, reading a book, walking alone in nature, listening to music, or whatever it is? And then what's your preference with your work conditions? Do you prefer to sit in an office, work fixed hours, very stable environment? We asked that before in another type of question. Do you want structured and constant work environment? Do you prefer salary and a fixed income? Do you prefer to work in a team? Or are you totally alone? Are you a self-driver? Do you like, for instance, sales where you're commission-based, where you manage yourself? It's open-ended and you can write your own check. What's the type of circumstances and environment that you would flourish in? What drives and stimulates you? You are task-driven and do not really care about people, the different personality types. So see what you are, what is your personality traits. There's the DISC test. There are so many tests out there where it measures your personality style, your work style, and who you can work with. What do you still need? What do you still want to achieve in life? Maybe in studies, socially, personally, maybe in sport, or outdoor, or your career, hobbies. So also delve deep in terms of, never mind again, your circumstances or your financials or whatever it could be. What is there that I would still, in other words, to use the cliche, what is your bucket list? What is there still that you would like to do or see or achieve? And then physically, also the place, where would you like to live? Do you like the desert? Would you like to live in Arizona or the middle of the Namib Desert in Namibia or in the Sahara? Do you prefer the mountains and the beautiful lakes of Scandinavia or the millions of acres of wooded area in Russia, whatever it is, where would you like to live, to work, even to retire? Which brings us then also closer to sort of where we go narrow is now, in other words, what industry and maybe even company would you like to work for, if it's possible to find out more about it. So now you should get to the stage where you start to get a feeling of who and what you are. Write it down. So I am. What's my physicals? What's my emotional strengths and weaknesses? What is my intellectual abilities and interests? What is my brain made for? And also on the other side of the scale, what are you definitely not? That will already save you tremendous amount of disappointment and pain and loss of life, if I might put it that way, of quality of life, if you just also know what you do not have or don't want to be. Right, and then you can go further. I can or would like to. Then maybe put in, complete the sentences, do, or work with, or work in, or deal with. All right, so hopefully this will start to give you a picture of where you are and what you are. Can I do it now? Or what must I do? What must I complete or attain to do the above? If you're not happy here, go back again. Spend a second evening or day or on holiday and work through it, because every time you delve into yourself, you invest in your own time, you will find out more about who I am. Right, which brings us to the summary. Now you should be able to make some notes. Who am I? What am I? In other words, what would be sort of my perfect careers and my purpose in life? And then, obviously, what are my goals? That's the practical next step. Which brings us to our roadmap, sort of my growth plan, if I may call it that. Right? If we measure it over time, over what are the activities that I need to do. And the period-wise, whether it's a month, whether it's a year or biannually, whatever your time periods are. Do you need to complete a course to achieve what you need to achieve? There's my goal. And remember, you also may have different goals now. You may have a spiritual goal. You may have a physical goal, intellectual goal. You may have a qualification that you need to complete. All right? So you need to do a qualification or apprenticeship for whatever it is that you now realize, I really want to do that. I've always wanted to do that. Let me get going with it. And then is to do the prerequisites. I need to find that job in the industry or the location or where it is. So you need to analyze now what and where are you now and where would you like to be at different levels or different aspects of your life. So, as we discussed it, what is the gap from where you are now and where do you want to be? We discussed that and what it is. So it's for you to go and put in, and then the percentage, you say, what do I still need to achieve? There's a practical example that you can take a photo of or draw it and then fill in what you need and what is it what you need to achieve or to do. So look at the actions, look at your timelines, that you can at least start in the right direction. I really hope that helped you. Feedback will be great. Get a life. Live life. Live it to the fullest and achieve your total potential. Vat jou erfenis in hand. Dit is joune. Take what is already yours legally. Enjoy the ride and live your purpose. Thank you very much. Goodbye.